MVP and Patty Mahomes coming off a 5,000-yard, 50-touchdown season. Rumblings of regression have started to creep into headlines. But our friends over at Fox Bet have Mahomes currently listed as the favorite to win MVP again this season. His name Breeze, Brady, and Rodgers. So, Broussard, who do you think wins MVP?
I know it's rare to repeat as MVP. When Manny did it, twice? Brett Favre did it. But I'm going with Patty Mahomes. I mean, I'm predicting over 5,000 yards again. Wow. And I want to say 50 touchdowns again, but I'll be conservative and go 45-ish. I think he's going to have a tremendous year. I mean, we know how fast they were last year with Tyreek Hill. Sammy Watkins, remember, only played 10 games. He, at least right now, is healthy. You got McCole Hardman, who's also a burner. I mean, this team has speed to burn.
Just real quick on the McCole Hardman thing, keep in mind, they drafted him because they thought they weren't going to have Tyreek Hill.
Right.
He was supposed to essentially be a poor man's replacement for Tyreek Hill. They obviously do have Tyreek Hill, but they still have McCole Hardman. Maybe they would have rather spent that pick on a defensive player, but to your point on the speed, it's just an absolute, I mean, just an embarrassment of riches as far as how much speed they can put on the field.
You could take the top off the defense in every play.
Yep.
And Travis Kelce will be there underneath for receptions. Their running backs, are fine, catching the ball, and I think they'll be able to run it well. Yeah, Mahomes, this offense is going to be high octane once again. I think Mahomes wins it.
So I agree with nearly everything you're saying about how good this offense can be. And you mentioned he could throw 45. Here's a way to put into context how brilliant Mahomes was last year. 50 touchdowns, right? If that takes a 20% haircut, you're at 40. 40 would have led the NFL each of the last 5 seasons, dating back to 2013, Patrick Mahomes' year notwithstanding. So he could regress and still have the best statistical profile. I don't like him for MVP, though, for one of the reasons you mentioned at the beginning. The NFL MVP is not the NBA MVP, where guys repeat all the time. Usually in the NBA, once you win one, you're going to win a couple. Duncan won back-to-back. Nash then won back-to-back. LeBron won back-to-back twice. Giannis going to be the favorite to go back-to-back himself. Like in the NBA, once you win one, you win a bunch. The NFL, it's 50 guys, or 50 men and women, I should say, who all submit one name. There's no first, second, third place votes. It's not 100 like it is for you guys that have the honor of having an NBA MVP vote, and where you put together a whole ballot. So sometimes storylines and narratives matter. And I believe the Green Bay Packers are going to have the best record in the NFC. I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to, assuming health, which I know can be a tough assumption, but for this discussion, we'll assume it for everyone. Aaron Rodgers is going to be spectacular. And I believe Aaron Rodgers, there's going to be this narrative around midway point of the season. Did we anoint Patrick Mahomes too early when the most talented quarterback we've ever seen has actually still been playing since Mahomes came in the league, and he's over in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers? And I will, because of it's so hard to repeat, I'd even say this. If Rodgers doesn't win it, I like Baker Mayfield. I think Baker's going to have bananas numbers. I think that offense is going to be outstanding, and we have seen Carson Wentz almost won an MVP in year 2. Mahomes did win an MVP in year 2. Derek Carr, and I think it was year 3, was en route to at least a top 5 MVP finish before he broke his leg. The young special quarterbacks in year 2, Jared Goff last year in year 3 and the year before, which was year 2, finished or played well enough to be in the MVP conversation. So I think Baker, my projection would go Rodgers, Baker, and then I'd have Patrick Mahomes.
But for Mahomes, the bar was so high last year that even a little, as you call it, a haircut off of that is going to make it look like he's not having the same season as last year, and that could also work to his detriment as well.
Well, if they're still winning games, most people do expect him to come down because what he did was so spectacular last year. So if he's where I'm saying 5,000 yards, 43, 44 touchdowns, I do think that's still good enough. And, to win games. And they may, at the end of games, if they're ahead big time, they may run the ball, so people could look at that. I'm with you, though, on Rodgers. He is second for me.
Okay.
I think he is going to have a great year. Baker, so you must have them winning the division.
I do have them winning the division. I think
12 wins.
100%. I think Baker and the Browns are going to be outstanding. Real quick, one thing that could work in Mahomes' advantage, but not to the advantage of the Chiefs, is I think they're going to have to score a whole bunch of points again because I don't know how good that defense is going to be. I don't think there's going to be a lot of games where
you don't see improvement.
Well, I think they could improve slightly, but I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of games where they're up 3 scores and you can just start running the football. Last year they had to keep compiling points, and so even if the defense improves, will it improve enough? That could work in Mahomes' advantage, but it's so hard to repeat as MVP in this league, and Rodgers hadn't won one in a while, and I think the Packers are going to be just an outstanding team on both sides of the ball.
All right, let's take a break. Talk some Cowboys. Is the Dallas season already a lost cause?
Over. Finished.
That's ahead on First Things
Pack it in, America's team. You're cooked.
Trying to be dramatic in these.